So, good day everyone, and we are excited to share you our topic. It's all about item analysis and validation. So, let's go. So, let's begin with the topic of the discrimination index. What is the discrimination index? So, the discrimination index measures how well a test questions can tell a difference between students who understand the lesson well, high scorers, or knowledgeable, and those who do not fully understand it yet, low scorers, or less knowledgeable. So, for example, think of it like this. So, Anna and Joy are classmates. They are friends. Anna understood the lesson well, and Joy didn't understand it yet. But they have long quiz examinations the next day. So Anna reviewed and studied well, while Joy didn't review even though she didn't understand the lesson well. So during the examination, Anna answered the questions correctly. And Joy, it's difficult for her because why? She didn't study and she didn't understand the lesson. So that's the difference between the high scorer and low scorers.
Good day everyone, I'm Kathleen and today I'll be reporting about the index of test items. The index shows how well a test question can separate strong students from weak ones. In simple terms, it helps us see whether a test item is good, faulty, or not useful in measuring learning. There are three types of index: the positive, the negative, and lastly the zero index. First is the positive index. This is considered good. It means that students who are strong in the subject answered the item correctly more often than weaker students. This shows that the test item is effective in measuring learning. Next is the negative index. This is considered undesirable. It means weaker students answered the item correctly more often than stronger students. This suggests there may be something wrong with the test question, such as unclear wording or even an incorrect answer key. And lastly is the zero index. The zero index, it is considered not useful. It means both strong and weak students had the same chance of answering the item correctly, almost like they were just guessing. Items like this do not really help in measuring learning. So to summarize, positive index, it is good, negative index, it is undesirable, and zero index, it is not useful. That ends my report about the index of test items. Thank you for listening.
There are two levels of discrimination index, the high discrimination and the low discrimination. When we talk about high discrimination, or also called the positive index, this means that students who got the question correct are usually the same students who also scored high on the overall test. If the top scorers in the test answer the item correctly, while the lowest scorers answer it incorrectly, then the item has high discrimination. This shows that the item is a good test question because it separates the students who mastered the topic from those who did not. For example, in a reading comprehension test, the question, "What is the main idea of the second paragraph?" is answered correctly by students with strong reading skills, while low scorers struggles. Another example, in a math test, the teacher asked, "What is the square root of 144? Most of the high-scoring students answered correctly as 12, while many of the low-scoring students choose the wrong answer. This shows high discrimination because the item separates knowledgeable students from those who are less prepared. Always remember, the high discrimination is a good item that separates strong from weak students.
Let's talk about low discrimination, negative or zero index. This means the question is not useful because weaker students answer it correctly more often than stronger students, or both groups answer at the same rate. This usually happens when the question is too easy, misleading, or has an error. Examples: Math. Negative. The teacher asks, what is 12 times 12? The correct answer is 144. But the teacher's answer key mistakenly marks 124. High scorers choose 144 and lose points, while weaker students who guess 124 gain points. Science. 0. A question like, which planet do you like most? Is not based on knowledge, so both high and low scores answer randomly. This gives no useful information. English. Negative. The test asks, what is the antonym of hot? Choices: A. Cold, B. Warm, C. Sunny, D. Fire. The correct answer is cold. But if the teacher's key marks warm, then stronger students get penalized, and weaker ones who guess warm score points.
So the bullet that I will be going to discuss is all about negative index. So what is negative index? If weaker students score higher on a question than stronger ones, this is a negative index. So ang sinasabi dito, yung mga weaker students or yung mga may mababang kakayahan ay mas nahihigitan yung mga stronger ones, which means ang stronger ones is about sa mga estudyante na mas magaling kesa sa kanila. So, paano nga ba ito nangyayari or why does this happen? This happened because the question might be misleading, giving the wrong idea or impression by being deceptive or ambiguity, capable of being understood in two or more possible senses or ways, having more than one meaning. So, having more than one meaning, meron itong meaning na mas higit pa sa isa. Sa isang sentence or sa isang question, meron siyang dalawa or isa o dalawa o mas higit pang meaning. The wording may be confusing or the correct answer key may even be wrong. So, here are some examples. The English teacher asking, what is the synonym of happy? So, meron siyang choices. A is joyful, B is angry, C is sad, and D is mad. So, joyful is the correct answer, but teacher accidentally keys mad. So, strong students choose joyful but get it wrong or mark as wrong. So, while some weaker students get it by chance. So, by chance lang nung mga weaker students na nakuha yung points na yun. So, here are some ambiguous questions. The chicken is ready to eat. This could be mean the chicken is cooked and ready to be served, or it is hungry and waiting to be fed. So, yung word na yun, meron siyang dalawang meaning, which is nakakalito kung sino sa kanila yung sagot nun. So, ganun. Tapos, yung ikalawa, we saw her duck. This sentence or this could be mean, we saw her lower her head or we saw the bird that belonged to her. So, ganun din yun. Dalawang meaning sa isang sentence lang. So talagang nakakalito kung ikaw yung sasagot nun. A negative discrimination index indicates that the item is functioning against the purpose of measurement. So, the discrimination index is hindi siya nagpa-function sa kung ano yung purpose niya. So, instead of discriminating between strong and weak students, it favors the lower performers. So, how to address this negative index? Examine the item, check miskeying, revise or reject the items. So, para maiwasan ito, i-examine natin the item na ibibigay natin sa mga students natin. Kailangan nating ayusin. And then, yung miskeying, yung mali yung sagot natin, which is hindi nakakatulong sa pag-measure natin sa kakayahan ng mga bata. And then, if kailangan din nating i-revise kung hindi ito maayos.
Hi everyone! Have you ever answered a test question just by guessing and still got it right? An index of 0 means a test item doesn't measure what the student knows. It's just guessing. For example, imagine this question. What is the teacher's favorite color? Students might answer, but even if they get it right, it doesn't show value. It's only locked. That's why the index of 0 tells us the item is not useful. It gives no information about what the students really know. So remember, in making good tests, avoid items that rely on luck. Can you think of another fun example of a test question with an index of 0? Share it in the comments.
Good day everyone! Today I will discuss what the word excellent means when you see it in a rubric used for grading. A rubric is a tool that teachers use to grade our performance or output. It usually has levels such as poor, fair, good, very good, and excellent. When we receive the level excellent, it means we have met or exceeded all expectations of the task. Our work is outstanding, complete, creative, and well prepared. In other words, excellence means it did our best work, showing deep understanding, confidence, accuracy, and effort. Example for an excellent work is during a report on the solar system, the student uses a pictures, explains each planet's features, and maintains good eye contact. That deserves an excellent. Another example is that when you're doing a written work or an essay with no grammar errors, clear ideas, and creative explanations is also rated as excellent. To achieve excellent in a rubric, we must prepare well, understand our topic, speak confidently, and show creativity and effort. Being excellent doesn't just mean being perfect. It means giving our best performance and showing commitment to quality work.
Good. Point 30 and 39. The question still separates strong and weak students but not as perfectly. Example, in an English exam, a vocabulary question like what does the word benevolent mean is answered correctly by most high scorers but also by some low scorers who might have guessed. These items still separate students but some overlap exists. Like math, what is 25% of 200? Many high scorers get it right, but some low scorers also know it because it's a common type of problem. In science, which planet is known as the red planet? And the answer is Mars. Most high scorers answer correctly, but some weaker ones might also know it from general knowledge. In English, what does the word optimistic mean? High scorers understand it means positive thinking, but some low scorers may guess correctly.
Fair 0.20 to 0.29. The question separates students a little, but not strongly. Needs improvement. Example, in a science exam, the question, what planet is known as the red planet? Mars may be answered correctly by many students, both high and low scorers, because it's common knowledge. These items provide some difference but not strong enough. In math, what is 10 plus 10? Both high and low scorers answer correctly because it's too easy, but a few mistakes may still occur. In science, what gas do human needs to survive? The answer is oxygen. Almost everyone knows this, so it does not separate students well. In English, fill in the blank. The sky is blank. The answer is blue. Nearly everyone answers correctly, making it only fair for testing knowledge.
Poor. The questions does not help identify strong or versus weak students. It should be revised or removed. For example, in history of exam, the question is what year is it today? Will be answered correctly by everyone regardless of their ability. This question is too easy and does not measure knowledge at all. These items don't help measure knowledge at all. And in math, what numbers comes after 5? They answered 6. Everyone knows this whether they are high or low scorer. And in science subject, the question is water is wet, true or false? And it's too obvious, it doesn't test the learnings. And for English subject, the alphabets come after letter A, true or false. Everyone answers correctly and it's useless for them to learn.